Hello, everyone. This is the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are talking about Power episode 408, and it is called It's Done. So hold on tight, and we'll be right back with you.
Baby, I know where the last one burned you. Know that ain't cool. Wanna show you how I'm nothing like him. Swear that's the truth. You can't trust that I won't.
All right, we're back. And like I said, we're talking about 408. This is called It's Done. And there was a lot of stuff that was done on this episode. Man, we left off last week where there was some loose ends with the investigation. Tasha was fooling around with Silver. Ghost seemed like he was, might have to get his hands dirty again.
My girl Tasha.
Yep.
Man.
All y'all Team Tasha's out there. I hope you know.
Oh, y'all went in on Tasha in the comments.
Yeah, y'all did. Yeah, y'all did.
And rightfully so. I mean, like I say, I love Tasha. I love her to death, but she's in the game and she's in it hard. She knows how to play the game. She knows what she wants. She gets what she wants.
Hey, I hear
in the
you.
story.
Yeah, Tasha was pretty scandalous last week and stuff, but I have to give a special shout out to Gabar on this one.
Go on, Gabar. I like your comment, too.
Yeah, Gabar, I usually like your comments and everything, but you better chill on them black women comments. You do not generalize the sisters like that. None of us, Tiara and I are not like Tasha, and a lot of folks in our circle are not like Tasha, so do not be making these general statements about sisters. All right?
Yeah,
they can't handle the truth.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Excuse me? Do not
Okay, I'm in trouble after
comments.
the show, so,
yeah,
you know.
he will be.
Right.
He will be. Do not be making general comments about the sisters. We didn't bring race into it when we were commenting about Ghost and Tasha.
It's not so much race, because I don't think... It isn't all black women. If he's referring to black women, he's only referring to...
He said black women.
Well, it's what he knows. So, but of course, white women, Asian women, I wouldn't lock it down to just black women.
Well, he said black women, and that's why I'm responding. So you, Gabar, you're still my homie, but I'm pretty sure,
Gabar, you were just referring to what you know. But I would strongly say that he didn't mean just black women. Because, as you know, we spoke with Gabar. I don't think he's a racist of any sort like that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But,
just don't generalize
too much. Don't generalize the sisters. And go ahead and cut Ron a check for trying to defend you right now.
Look, we're going to stick together, okay? Because I know you got my back.
All right, well, before we get too deep on that, we don't want nobody getting in trouble here.
Right.
Let's jump into the discussion of this week's episode. This week's episode opens up with Silver, and he is waking up in bed. Tasha's no longer there, so he sees this little note that she's left behind, and she had a great time with him and everything. I'm like, okay, Tasha. Sneaking out in the middle of the night. And then Silver, he gets this phone call, to which nobody really responded to him. I guess they just called and woke him up. And next thing you know...
I wonder was that Ghost calling him saying I'm coming up.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought it was his doorman. I thought it was his doorman letting him know that
somebody was coming up.
It could have been that too.
Yeah.
And, next thing we know, Ghost pops up on him.
So what do you think about that? I mean, when Ghost shows up,
what
was your first thought?
I didn't know how to feel about that. I'm like, hold up, Ghost. Like, you sitting up here trying to say that you this, straight and narrow guy, that you on the right path, and you popping up at people's houses unannounced. I'm like, hold up, this looked like an ambush.
Right.
So I don't know what's running through Silver's head, but I'm thinking he might have felt the same way.
I'm sure he was a little nervous.
He probably was nervous.
Because he didn't look a little
slept
comfortable.
with the man's wife.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the earring on the floor.
That was sloppy.
And Ghost picks up the earring. Now,
he don't know
here's
his
my
wife's
question.
earring?
That's what I'm
sure
going
he
to say.
does.
Here's my question to you ladies. Or better yet, I guess that question would be to me. Now, I may not know my wife's earring, but I'm going to tell you what. If I were Tasha, I'd have thrown those earrings away. Because it's imprinted in his head.
Yeah.
And if she wears those earrings around Ghost, it's gonna bring back. Because see, it's the way he picked up the earring and said, so you had a young lady here last night, or something to that effect. But it was the look on his face like he was trying to do a mental photograph of this thing.
Yep.
Things are not put in there. It's for a reason.
It's
always
for
a reason and power. We probably gonna see that earring
we're gonna see
again.
that earring.
Yeah, he's probably gonna figure it out. He's probably gonna find out.
Man, and Tasha, I feel for her when he do find out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna be pretty.
Well, look.
Here we go.
Look.
Go ahead. I know.
Look.
I know.
He has no room to be mad. He was waxing poetic. We discussed that.
Tiffany.
Yeah, that's still his.
They
No, she was wrong.
Yeah.
She was scandalous.
They were both doing poetry.
Wrong. They were both wrong.
Both of them wrong. And no one more wrong than the other. Okay?
Yeah, they
because
both wrong.
I'm telling you, as a man, you're gonna be bumping up like that in my house.
Yeah. Well, she was bumping up in his house.
Well, I mean before with Sean, and then you go to somebody else's house and you're leaving your earrings and stuff, like you're getting real sloppy.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be this sloppy, either just leave and cut your losses, or clean up your act.
Well, I think that's what she's thinking.
What? That she's leaving? Yeah.
I think that's what she's thinking, because we, the previews, and I'm just jumping ahead just for a hot second.
Yeah.
Just for a hot second, and then we can bring it back. Previews, it looks like she was saying something about being independent and all this other stuff for next week's show.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the slide and the
she
slick,
probably thinks that now that Ghost is exonerated, that she might have a real shot to move on.
I'm still thinking that there's something about it's something about Tasha and this move with Silver that doesn't sit well with me.
Me either.
Well, it doesn't sit well with any of us. I mean, it's not cool that she did it.
No, I don't mean even from that point. I'm saying.
It's not for genuine reasons.
Yeah,
that she's
I don't feel the love or the. I think it's. She's getting it's like I'm due. He goes out and gets a piece, and that's that. You do whatever you have to do to get your piece. You say whatever you have to say, and when you're done, you're done. And that's how I feel what she's doing. Could be wrong, but.
Yeah, I think she has some ulterior motives going on there.
Yeah,
it's something else.
Always, but she does act like she's feeling the dude though. She was acting all dreamy, talking to Keisha.
That's because she got some. Probably hadn't had any in a while.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. So,
it's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a minute because she ain't giving Ghost nothing.
Hey, right. So that's probably what that is.
Yeah, and speaking of that conversation she had with Keisha, she was in there talking about that TV interview that she had done, and Keisha was, just telling her about, she was telling Keisha about how the TV interview went, and then they got into discussion about Silver, and she started like gloating a little bit, and I'm like, Tasha, isn't Tariq sitting over here?
That's what I was looking at. I was like, isn't Tariq sitting there?
And she didn't care.
I was like, what? Did I see what I just saw?
Yeah, you saw somebody who has no morals.
I had to run that back about twice, because I'm like, Tariq couldn't have been there for that scene.
None of them, because when I looked at that scene, I felt like everybody was lying. Even little Raina, I was like, when she came in there about the school, and I mean, she wants to go to the school, but she had ulterior motives too. Yep. So she lied, and she lied about Tariq too.
The bruise on her arm.
So I was like, everybody's lying.
Okay, that's a lie not for personal gain. That was a lie because she didn't want to get her brother in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got that.
And Tariq was right there listening.
Right.
No, I get it.
She was defending her brother. And I think going to the other school is a cool move by her because it didn't come out in the show, but to me, I thought maybe she was thinking if I go, he'll go. Or they'll send us both,
right?
And he can get away from the mess that he's in.
Look, I agree with her. I think it's a great idea. I wasn't opposed to that. I'm just saying that she lied. I'm just saying that now everybody is being impacted. Like Tariq, he's lying, of course, and he's doing all this other dirt. But now Raina, Raina was the innocent one.
Right. And now she's getting dragged into
I just call, to me, a lie is when you lie or mislead for personal gain.
Lie is a lie.
Well, but there is a definition for lying, and typically it's for personal gain. You lie to get something.
A lie is to not tell the truth.
Tiffany, she was defending. So whether you call it a lie or not, I call it she was in defense mode. So, and I got that. In fact, I gave her kudos for that because she didn't have to do that. She could have said my brother grabbed my arm and threw me down.
Right, but then if she tells the truth in front of her mom, what else happens from here?
Then that's a whole nother bag of worms that you're going to open up.
I'm not saying she was wrong for doing it. I know her motivation for doing it. I'm just saying it's still a lie. And I'm just saying that everybody...
It's a misrepresentation of the fact.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Okay, Donald Trump. The alternative facts
No,
over
these
here.
weren't alternative facts.
Alternative
No,
facts.
they weren't. It was just a misrepresentation of the facts. She wanted to protect her brother. She wanted to protect the scenario of what went down. Hey, I'm good with that.
Kelly Conway over here.
Right. Well, the next thing that comes up, I wanted to talk about Sax and Donovan and Angie beating up, because last week that kind of left off where they were just sitting in her apartment and Sax had seen the tape and everything, but it didn't really go anywhere from there.
Right.
And so this week they pick up and they're all in Angie's apartment talking about how Mike's still trying to pin it on Donovan.
Donovan wasn't having it though, man.
Trying to pin it on a brother.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Right, and Donovan lets him know that Mike stopped by his house. We knew his daughter was going to tell him. We said that last week.
Yeah, we said that.
Of course.
And so Mike is like...
And Angie called it. She said, well, he stopped by to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, because Mike is desperate right now, and I think Donovan is like, dang, it got real.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question. If Mike had just kept it cool, because he's been really panicky for the last couple of episodes, and particularly this one, and I think every movie he's made were moves that didn't require a whole lot of thought, and he's kind of backed himself in a corner with some of the things he's done, including going to Donovan's place to try to kill him.
Right.
Was that really necessary?
Well, you gotta realize that Mike is not really a killer. He's a U.S. attorney. They got dragged into this because of the relationship with Lobos. Lobos threatened to kill his daughter, and out of protecting her, then he became a criminal. He's not really a murderer.
Yeah.
Which goes back to what I said earlier on with Ghost. I mean, when you're in a gang like that, it's blood in, blood out. That's how you get in, that's how you get out. So whether he was experienced murderer or not, he is now. Or was, you know. So, and the way he got out, he got the knife or the blade.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And before we get there, they were talking in the apartment about how to get enough evidence that they could turn into mock, because as of right now, all they have is their theories about what happened, and while they're right, they just don't have anything to back it up.
But old Angie.
And then
Angie,
She comes
she
up
always
again.
got
She's
something up
always
her
got
sleeve.
something. Yeah.
always.
So she's got the burner that was that I guess.
That
yeah,
was
that's
the
the one
Sandoval
that Ghost
had.
gave her.
Logos with.
Yeah, Ghost gave it to her. And then
Right.
that's the thing. Where did Ghost get the phone? I mean, that's the question that Sax was asking.
Right.
We know where he got the phone.
Right.
But,
Right.
yeah.
And it all ties in together, and that's the thing with Mike. I don't think anybody could have seen him doing what he did, because he kind of flipped the script on them later on after he had gotten arrested. But Mike has a lot of dirt on all of them, and so if he goes down, Angie goes down, Tommy and Ghost go down, it
Angie
just
knew.
snowballs.
Angie knew. So she
knew.
That's
why, that's why she did what she did. That's why she related to Silva, everything. And she knew that Ghost and Tommy would handle it.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm not rushing things, but my mind is spinning right now on Tommy.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about Tommy had a lot of, he had a very active role this episode.
Yeah.
First
a lot
of
of
all,
epiphanies. You know, he and his mom have a real strange relationship.
very.
I mean, it's like none I've ever known before in my life. So
I've never seen nothing like that.
yeah, okay. So
and
what?
he goes to confront Kate this week about his father, because last week he talked to Tony, of course, and found out that Tony was saying that he was his dad. So he goes to Kate this week to confirm, and initially she lies to him and tells him, no, he's playing some sick joke, stay away from him. And Tommy's not really buying it.
No, he didn't buy it.
At all. And so then he turns around and goes to Connie's house. And he was looking for the other guy to talk to, but Connie was the only one there.
Yeah, I think that was just an excuse.
I think that was an excuse.
And he, you know, Tommy, as dumb as he plays sometimes,
He's very slick.
He's cunning.
He's cunning as hell. I mean, you know, he goes and grabs the photo album, he finds a picture, which was kind of dumb on Teresa's point.
That's what I was thinking.
That was like,
if
why?
you hiding a baby from your wife,
Why do you have the
Why
picture
you got
out in
a
the photo
picture?
album? I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, that might have been a writing.
I don't know if it was right. I feel like Tony probably told her it was his nephew or something.
Yeah, but
he been married to her for 40 years.
And
so
women
you know who the family is.
And you guys, women, and this I can make a generalization about all women. Y'all have some of the most suspicious natures I've ever known.
Well, that's true.
Detective skills on
exactly.
I mean, it's innate. Y'all come and look at a picture and go, "Who's that?"
Absolutely.
And then if I just flick one eye trying to tell you a lie about this picture, y'all already got the whole story.
Oh, absolutely. We could come in a room and scan the room in 2.5 seconds and know when somebody's not supposed to be there.
Actually, 1.6.
Yeah, absolutely. So we surely would have discovered that picture.
Moral of the story is just don't lie in the first place.
Well, moral of the story, don't bring in anything that you want to have talked about later on.
Right.
Because that picture didn't need to be there. Could have been in your pocket, could have been in your office, outside the home, anywhere. Don't bring no pictures, brothers. Leave that stuff out the house.
And what's her name? Connie, she was also asking Tommy about his mom, trying to, pry a little bit. And
which was smart.
It was on her behalf because Tommy told her, you probably don't even know her. And eventually he mentioned that her name was Kate Egan. And Connie, she played dumb like she didn't know. But the way she looked when Tommy left, she was like,
She probably suspected.
Well,
women know their men.
Again,
they know their men.
Again, it's that level of suspicion because she wanted a name.
Yeah, she did.
See, it isn't the name. She wanted a name.
Exactly.
And so that the next time she sees or talks to her husband, Teresi, she's gonna go, "Who's this Kate chick?"
Yeah, you done married him for 40 years. She know her man.
Right.
Exactly.
Kate probably wasn't the first woman he stepped out with.
Hey,
so that's
probably not the last.
Yeah,
right.
He probably got several baby pictures somewhere.
Exactly. So she probably like, yeah.
But I don't know. He seemed to be very.
He loves his wife. It's
clearly. And I think he honestly wanted to hook up with Tommy. As he said, he's an old man. He wants to know.
I believe that too.
Yeah.
I got that. He's just gonna have to. He's in clean up aisle 7 with his wife. So I don't know how he's gonna do that.
Right, and especially since after Tommy found the picture, he went back and confronted Kate again because she lied to him, and she finally had to admit.
He looked like he was gonna kill his mama.
I thought it was over for Kate for real.
I don't put nothing past Tommy.
I mean, you kill your woman, I guess your mama's just collateral damage because the way he came at her, I'm thinking, oh, Kate, this don't look good for you.
Right. And she had to admit it at that point because you lie again, you really done.
You're done.
And she eventually went to the jail to talk to Tony too because I think she knows how Tommy is and he wants that relationship with his father. And especially since it's been so many years of him going without that he's like, look, I need to try to make up for lost time. And with Kate, she went up there to tell Tony, like, look, I know Tommy's going to come and try to get a relationship with you, but you stay away from my son. Because Kate obviously knows what kind of person Tony is.
Yeah, and that's something that's not going to happen. Tommy, we've already seen how that relationship with his dad pays off.
Well, look. He the same type of person Tommy is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most definitely.
And if you've seen the previews for next week, he was just going in because Kate is like, you don't know what kind of person he's like. Me and him the same people. We both are
murderer and a criminal. Right. And it's real. It's real talk. He is a chick off the old block.
Definitely. And he didn't even know it. That's the crazy part. You wasn't even around this man and you still turned out like him.
Just like him with the criminal ways. Even the part when he said last week that he had a thing for redheads. Tommy does too.
Yep.
So I don't know. Kate, she in trouble with Tommy because I feel like they're gonna get really close. Like Tommy right now, he's playing it cool because it's new to him right now. He hasn't had a father figure in his life. So I think that now that that relationship is gonna grow, him and Tommy are gonna get tight, and I'm not sure what criminal activity gonna come out of that.
One thing I gotta say about Connie, she cleans up well. Because, in this episode, she looked pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Tommy said that.
He said that.
Yeah,
the medicine, she's getting the money.
Right.
To get the meds and stuff. The medicine is working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I have a crush on Connie. I'm just,
but she did. She cleaned up well.
And so, also, I want to talk about, it still relates to Tommy because Ghost is meeting with Rashad Tate talking about revamping the community, reinvesting, And as he's talking with Rashad Tate, of course he brings Dre in. I didn't realize that Dre and Tate had a relationship.
I didn't see that connection at all. And now it's even more complicated because Ghost is all in. He's in with both hands.
Exactly.
And he wants to do right by that community. Mm-hmm. But Dre.
Dre's a mess. And the thing about that is, Rashad doesn't know anything about Ghost's history right now. So by Dre accompanying them, you have Ghost putting on this front for Tate, but you have Dre that can screw it all up because he knows what Ghost really is about.
Yeah, I'm going to go on record and say that I don't think Tate is who we think he is. I think that he is playing the part that he's squeaky clean, but he's not. We're going to see.
I mean, it's power.
It is.
He's not controversy.
Right.
No,
he's not.
I agree.
And there's a reason why he pulled Dre in.
No, I agree.
I think he knows who Ghost is. I think he knows who Ghost is for real.
He has to have a little flavor about him to even know Dre.
Yeah.
So, and so, you come out, it's another Ghost.
Exactly. He knows who Ghost is. He knows Dre's connection to Ghost. I'm telling you.
Even if he doesn't know who Ghost is actually, I think that, he's got a card that he's not showing. Yeah, he's got some flavor about him, and I could kind of see that.
Yeah, he pulling them in on the legit front first.
Right. That's.
But
I mean,
Lorenz is dirty.
Look, he's a councilman. He can't play by the rules all the time and get what he wants. Okay, I mean sometimes you gotta go low.
Hey.
Yeah.
He said that last episode. He said, it's a lot of corruption involved with being a councilman.
No, it is, and he's real talk.
No,
and watch, I called it. Watch.
I know I'm signing off on you just so when it happens, I told you so. We agree.
Okay, that's a good. I can see it happening. I'm not gonna put it past him. But like I said, he brought Dre in, and Ghost realizes that in order to revamp this community, he's gonna have to clean it up on the drug side too, because right across the street on the corner is the Jimenez, their boys,
the local Toros.
Exactly.
Local Toros, yes.
So that's when all this stuff in the background comes to the front with Dre, and he's going around with Cristobal, and he's meeting with all the guys, basically saying, we don't agree with Tommy trying to go to war. And that if that ain't Baby Ghost, I don't know what is. Because we've seen this a few seasons ago where Ghost did the exact same thing. And now we have Dre going to all the people telling them, look, get on my side.
Well, Dre's getting sloppy with that too.
He
is getting sloppy.
He's not as suave as Ghost was.
No. But his hunger is getting in the way of his common sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So, he's, maybe I'll make a prediction. He's going to be the next one out because he's really making a whole lot of mistakes in terms of how he's approaching. Jimenez, I mean, you don't go to them and try to make a deal that he says he can deliver it, but
he's undermining his connect,
right.
Tommy. And then he offered up the Bassett Hotel, and that is the one project that Ghost was trying to use that to go global and to go clean and build wealth for his entire family.
Yep.
Ghost gonna be the one to take him out.
How can he truly deliver that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, because he's still working in truth and everything. He considers himself as
we
a
all
apprentice.
know that Karen got a special attraction for Ghost.
Exactly.
I mean, for Dre.
For Dre, yeah.
It's probably more than attraction now.
Yeah.
He probably been...
That might be his love scene that you wanted.
That might be.
On the
That
bike,
might be.
With Karen.
Yeah. Put it down, Dre, before you get up out of there.
But with that whole thing, Tommy and Ghost initially went to the Jimenez to say, look, like, you sitting up here taking credit for a kill you didn't make, so we can easily let everybody know that y'all are frauds, basically.
Well, that's again, that is the mindset of a Ghost, and that's why, he can't get out of this even if he wanted to.
Yeah, and that's what Tommy told him. You want things done your way, you gotta get your hands dirty.
And that's the problem in the game. If you're in the game, there's no way out. We only know that there is one way out, and that's blood in, blood out. So, if and he did an excellent job. I think the story that he told, it was the story needed to be told, but at the same token, these guys they're beyond ruthless killers.
And that's what I was thinking.
They'll give you what you want, but you can believe they're trying to figure out a way to get it back.
Right.
Exactly.
And I mean, that was a very bold move going up there to them. I mean, I know Tommy and Ghost are, very established and well respected in their own right, but I don't think they are nearly as ruthless as the Jimenez are.
Or calling a war when you can't win the war because you don't have the manpower.
I was going to say that.
Exactly.
They're outnumbered.
Oh, way outnumbered. And then the boys you do have, half of them are too young. The other half wouldn't want to carry a war anyway.
Some of them are not even rocking with you because they're having meetings behind your
behind
back
your
with Dre.
Dre.
I mean, they said that they believe Tommy is a hothead and
Right.
stuff, so they don't even have. Well, Tommy doesn't have their full support.
Right.
But speaking of that meeting, did you guys see how Ghost was checking out?
Alicia.
Alicia?
Yeah, I was like,
He
Ghost
was
likes
like-
his Latina sisters.
Well,
I see.
mean, she is fine. No,
I'm not hating.
And
I'm
Ghost
not
got
hating,
eyes,
but I see.
and his eyes work.
I see,
when she
but I
came
see
down
like
those steps-
Angela. There's a pattern. Angela and now Alicia. So I see he likes his
She
Latina
blazed
sisters.
down those steps with those moves. My boy said, "Damn."
He said he sure did, and the eye contact between the two during the whole time, I was like, "Is Ghost gonna go there?"
Yep, there was
I wouldn't put it past him.
I wouldn't put it past her.
I don't know if Ghost wants to be in
two.
bed with that chick.
Okay,
though.
so that's what I'm saying. It takes two. And the way she was looking at Ghost, she had a little glance at him.
Yeah, she
Oh, they checked each
They
other
checked
out.
each
It was
other
a
out.
mutual attraction.
That was a
Right.
mutual attraction.
So don't be too surprised if you see.
Oh, I won't be surprised at all. We talking about Ghost.
We talking
We're
about
talking
playing
about
with fire
Alicia.
though.
Right.
We talking
Good
about
Lord.
Oh, you not even. That's not even fire. That's an inferno. You.
Right. Well, I mean, I ain't mad. I mean, Ghost is fine. As much as I talk about him, Ghost is fine. So I understand the attraction.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, they.
But Lord, don't act on that move
But
because we definitely.
she's worse than her brother. I mean,
Oh, she is.
She's
she
is.
Yeah.
The women on this show, I tell you,
Oh, they're cutthroat.
Yeah, I was like
Solid.
Jukebox, Alicia. Look, even Angela and Tasha.
Oh, Angie just showed her hand. She showed her whole hand at that,
Yeah,
in
this
this
is-
episode. I mean, that was. I didn't. I knew she was calculating and kind of cold, but she was
But
frigid.
that, yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah, and so of course the Jimenez, they say, we're going to take some time to think about it, about the, Ghost and them trying to expose them, and.
But as Ghost said, I mean, power, or rather your influence and your respect, is more than money, and it took the intelligence of Ghost to come and say that to them, because, they weren't seeing it that way. Although at least she picked up on it pretty quickly. She knew what Ghost was trying to say, and it is true. That reverent power beyond physical, beyond money, is more important than anything else, because influence is a vital entity in that kind of game.
Exactly.
And so to have someone come out and expose you, that could be.
Yeah, that really hurts your credibility.
Oh, it's done.
Man. So with Dre going behind Tommy's back, I think that Tommy's eventually going to catch on to that, and he's definitely going to hear about it because the streets talk.
Oh yeah.
But putting yourself as an enemy of Kanan, of Tommy, of Ghost, and now you are trying to get in with the Jimenez, but they don't play either.
Yeah, he's
Right.
public
So
enemy.
you really pushing it.
He's got nobody on his side.
Right.
Really.
He's
I mean,
really doing a
made-
lot. He's
and
being a
that's what I'm
little
saying.
too ambitious.
Way
Yeah.
too ambitious. And the point is, I get what you want, but it has to come in steps. You can't get it all at one time, because pretty soon they're all going to know and you're out.
Yeah. And let's talk about Mike and Sax. Because Sax, he's been getting inside scoop when he's been going over to Angie's house and meeting with Donovan and Angela and discussing this whole thing with Mike. But then on the other end, he goes and he's at this bar with Mike by himself. And they're talking and he's just spilling the beans.
That was a setup.
It was.
Yeah.
But see, I'm like...
Well,
He was in on it. That was part of the setup for Mike.
And because eventually they got him to come over to Angie's house. And where they knew that he was going to come with a gun based on what he had done at Donovan's
Exactly.
house. Yeah. And so Mike, he really played into their hand because Sax, he was a little, drunken up a little bit. He had been sipping,
Mm-hmm.
but he placed that information very strategically, saying, there's this tape and they cut it off before you got upstairs. And by him saying before you got upstairs already lets Mike know, okay, they seen me going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But this simple-mindedness of going to try to kill Angie in her apartment at that particular point in time, because here I am sitting at the bar with Sax. Mm-hmm. Then I leave abruptly, and then Angie winds up dead.
Yes.
2 plus 2 is still 4.
Yeah, he
Exactly.
was desperate. But one of the things I want to say about Sax, I don't think Angie is he's watching her as well. He's watching her, and he being Sax because of the way things went down with Sandoval. I mean, like the way he was listening when they set them up, and I may be jumping ahead.
Nope, I'm right on the path.
Yeah, okay, great. Because I was gonna say that when he was in the van listening while she was talking to him, Sandoval was saying, "Hey, I got stuff on you," and she's like, "No, I'm clean, I'm innocent." But Sax was still listening, and even when Sandoval ends up biting it, when Mac was like, nobody knew that he was here. Sax was like, we knew. So I was like, that's gonna come back to haunt Angie.
Angela,
Sax never liked Angie anyway.
Yeah, because they, and I found that to be interesting. It actually added up when, because she had gone over to got a brain fart here.
Who? When she went over
the
to
former lawyer from
Silver.
No, not Silver, Proctor.
No, Proctor.
Right, because it was Proctor. She, I think, went over to say.
No, she went to see Silver.
Was it Silver?
To
first?
tell.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But with Angie, I think, like you said, Sax, he's not stupid. And just as he's listening on that conversation and Mike is getting ready to expose Angie, how convenient the wire goes off. Like,
well, she did that.
Yeah, she did it. But Mike is like, okay, I'm already looking at you sideways.
Go back to Donovan as, things elevated and he wants to come in because he heard enough. Mm-hmm. And who was it?
Mock. It was Mock. Was like,
who said,
I need to hear more.
We need to hear more. Mm-hmm. He's like, he has already killed one.
Exactly.
And,
his back is up against the wall.
Right.
We got to get in there.
Yeah.
And so he said, Sax, you stay and listen. Mm-hmm. And Sax was listening. And that's why Sax even gave her the eye when she came in there. She was like, oh, I only had a split second to... He looked at her. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was like, see, Sax is on to Angie.
Yeah.
And Angie, who knows, before the end of the season, she might be in the bang like Ghost. Oof.
Yeah, interesting about that whole event because she would have died had things not, had she not done what she did. So she really had no choice. Mm-hmm. The interesting aspect was that she didn't kill him herself, and she would have had every right to do so. Mm-hmm. And that's when it got a little murky for me because... No,
she was getting her hands... She wasn't getting her hands
and
dirty.
That's what Courtney said.
Exactly.
She was not...
But in this instance, it's self-defense. It's clearly self-defense because he came to kill you. Mm-hmm. So, and she has every right to defend herself. So...
Right, but she's probably never shot anyone before. She is a lawyer.
Well...
She's never shot anybody before. She's a lawyer. So she was keeping her hands clean.
And
she let Ghost and them do the dirty work.
That shot was right on. She wasn't trying to kill him.
Well, she's trained, clearly. Well, I'm saying, but she has not killed anyone before, so she's like not going to have a kill on her record.
I don't think it was a kill. I don't think it was as much that as she wanting to set him up and get him inside.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Angie is manipulative too.
Oh, yes, extremely. I mean, to the whole 9. Because anybody else, that shot would have been 2 or 3 inches over to the right, and it would have been. Oh, I mean, that's here. A few more inches.
Yeah, and she could have easily said it was a self-defense because she had already said through the wire, he has a gun.
He has a gun.
So it would have been justified. Mm-hmm. But like Courtney was saying in her interview that she gives after the show, she said, Angie's character, she doesn't think that it would be believable for Angie to want to kill. And so it's more believable. And I agree because Angie, like I said, she is manipulative to get her to set him up to be killed. Mm-hmm. I believe that.
I believe that too.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually a little more treacherous than just putting a bullet in his heart.
Absolutely.
I mean, because
absolutely.
That's some... God, y'all women, man. Y'all can really think of some stuff, don't y'all?
Now, here we go with another generalization.
Right.
I'm just saying. Who else would... A man wouldn't have done that. He would have just shot him in the heart and it would have been all over. But you all... I mean, that was some cunning stuff.
It was a little bit because she made Mike think that he had a chance to maybe redeem him. Like, come on, like you can still save yourself. Just tell them such and such, and you'll be good.
Come on, come on.
Well,
I was like, oh my God,
she was getting revenge for Greg.
You really wanted that revenge, and,
she
and
did.
you got it.
Cause she put the man that she loved in the band behind Greg, and plus she was being petty too because he dumped her. But you know, that had a lot to do with it. She was avenging Greg's death.
Right, and with Mock, once Mike finally was arrested. Mock is interviewing Mike, and he's making all these demands like, I need immunity or else I'm going to drag down the whole department. I'm going to let them know that all the 100+ cases I worked on could have been influenced by Lobo. So y'all going to go down. Your career's going to be ruined if I spill this.
And that's my point. Mike's not a dummy.
No.
And to come up with that just for Mark, that was smart because Mark is all about
his image.
His image. He's really
worried
all
about
about
himself.
that. Exactly. And no better way to get Mark on your side in that regard. It's just to tell him what he told him. So he's no dummy. It's just interesting how he came to his demise in the fashion that he did. It was just he made a lot of stupid moves, if I can say.
Well, that's another thing. That's another reason why Angie had to shut him up. It was because avenging Greg's death, of course, but also because he has that dirt on her too, so he had to go.
No, definitely.
She wasn't gonna let him talk.
No,
because she's just as complicit as Ghost and Tommy.
Anybody else? Yeah.
And then of course, Angie, she goes and on her master plan goes and lets Silver know that Mike has been arrested for the murder and Ghost is off the hook. And with Silver, he just makes my skin crawl sometimes because he's gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, so I guess he really was innocent." How you represent this man?
Well, we said that earlier.
You said it.
Attorneys.
I said that earlier on. He never believed Ghost, and he was only there. And sadly enough, had they brought him back or arrested him again, I don't think Silver would have.
He was done with Ghost.
He was done.
He told Tasha, "I'm done with him. I'm doing this for you, basically."
So he didn't kill him. I mean, I'm like, oh wow.
Well, you know what? And what I thought about during that situation when he said that, I was like, okay, he's being lulled into a false sense of security now, because even though Ghost didn't kill Greg, he's still a killer.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't know that. Now he's like, oh, so now he feels like he could be bold and ask Tasha for a date in his house. And he don't know that this dude is still a killer. He may not have killed Greg, but he will take you out.
And I'm trying to understand Tasha. I mean, you got these eyes thing going on in your home. You're entertaining this dude.
See, it's been a while.
Come on, it ain't been that long.
It's been a minute since, Ghost and put it down. And,
Is it like that? Is it that bad for y'all? Look at that.
What's the next topic?
And they say we're different. We're from the same planet.
I don't know. I'm going to decline to comment on that.
Exactly.
Moving right along.
But Silver bought Tasha's earring back too, and like you said, she probably needs to throw them earrings out.
Yeah, those earrings gotta go.
Those earrings
and if she keeps those earrings, then we know what's gonna blow this whole thing up.
Exactly.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Ghost made a mental imprint on those earrings.
Exactly.
And he'll see them again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't no dummy.
At all, by any means. And Ghost also made a little pop-up on Proctor this week. He slid right up in his car as he was going to pick up his daughter.
Proctor was like, come on, man, the only person that does that is Tommy.
Yeah, and that's in that scene, he looked so sinister, too. That's one thing.
Ghost?
Yeah, he did. The way he was looking at him.
He looked like he could take Proctor out.
Yeah, that's one thing I have to give kudos to Amari Hardwick. I mean, he really communicates with his eyes and stuff, and he really looked.
Expression thing going
on.
And he lets Proctor know, like, look, I seen you with Mock last week. So now, we mentioned this last week. How is he going to let Proctor know that he been spying on him? Well, he just told him straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He pulled up on a lot of people this week. Yeah. I mean, Ghost pulled up on everybody. He pulled up on Silver. He pulled up on Proctor. I mean, it went down this week.
And that's what I'm saying, Ghost. You gotta, if you want to portray
Ghost for a reason,
right?
But if you're trying to portray that you are not who you say you are, you can't be doing stuff like this.
No, look, let's get it straight. Last time, it's not that he's trying to pretend that he's not Ghost. He wants out.
Right.
That's all. He
That's
just
true.
wants out. The problem is he can't get out.
Right.
Well,
because he's already met with at the Jimenez.
Jimenez, yeah.
He's already met with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's that could land him back in jail just that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something's going on with the real estate deal. We don't know what Mr. Tate has in mind or what he has
Tate
going
is
on.
dirty, y'all.
But we know Tate might be a little dirty.
I think.
But certainly Dre's dirty.
Dre's
So now
definitely
we
dirty.
got Ghost, Tate, and Dre together. That's not a good look for
Yeah.
Ghost.
Well,
And he's still chilling with Tommy.
And
Tommy is dirty.
And he's back in love with Tommy. They got a new thing going on. So Tommy is now relying on Ghost. Ghost is relying on Tommy. They needed to have a kill. Tommy says, what? I got this.
You gotta get your hands dirty. And then it was crazy. After the kill, you see Ghost had his legs crossed. He was like, cool.
Right.
I said, Ghost he's gangster for real.
yeah.
Oh,
And, yeah, Ghost got some ways to go before he can really clean it up.
Exactly. Because I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Ghost. He really. I think that Ghost is imprinted in James. Ghost is a part of James. So just getting rid of that part of your life doesn't get rid of those character issues that are in you.
Right.
Well, I think he's smart enough. He's devious-minded enough. He's cunning enough to be a ghost. If he could get out of the game, I think you'd see an entirely different man because he's an extremely intelligent man.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the street in terms of how to play the game. He knows the legal aspects of the game, of being straight, I should say. But I just don't see Ghost out. He can't get out. He has there are just too many variables around him that's going to lock him in. What do you do with Tommy? What do you do with Tasha? Now your boy, the one that you love so much, is following right behind your footsteps, and he comes by it naturally.
He sure does.
You saw how he hooked that up, that
He
little
sure
situation
does.
up. I mean, not one thought at all. He just knew exactly what to do.
All right.
Lying effortless.
Well, and being the part, knowing how. What did the two guys in the car say?
Yeah, he was like, no, I
He said, I told
gotta.
you that little nigga knew what to do.
Yeah.
Pardon the expression. We don't usually use those kinds
The
of terms.
N-word.
The N-word, but just quoting the quote. But
Right.
he knew exactly what to do.
Yeah. And going back to Proctor, they were really worried about him and if he had actually cleaned the situation up as good as he needed to. And we seen Proctor putting that laptop into
And
a
safety
storage
security.
space.
That's right. He's not dummy.
He's not done.
Yeah.
He's not done.
He needs collateral.
And he looked like he was green roll out too. It was a passport place and
Yeah.
stuff. So it makes me wonder if he's skipping town.
He might
with
be.
his baby.
Ooh.
Yeah. He went back and met up with Tommy and Ghost. Later on, they were talking about how Mike had gotten arrested and everything. And Tommy, of course, puts his mind to work. And he's like, look, Mike is in jail. My dad's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I think we said last week that that newfound relationship with Tommy and Teresi, Tommy is going to embrace. And we saw it firsthand in this episode, how he called his dad and needed a favor and no questions asked.
Yeah. And that, I think that really left an impression on Tommy because Tommy said, you're not even going to ask me no questions about it? He said, your family.
Your family.
And Tommy was like, oh, okay.
And that was a mark that I saw in Tommy that said, okay, this relationship just might be okay. Because now he's looking at, and you know what? If he were to go to war, he would need him.
He
Oh,
would.
he sure
He
would.
would need him. He would need him.
Yeah, and Tommy was worried about, everybody seemed to be worried about what Tony would ask for in return. But
He didn't.
He didn't.
No, he just
Yeah.
wants a relationship. That's all he wants.
I'm good with that. I mean,
Right,
as far as
right.
Tommy being Tommy, he's going to need his dad. So they found each other.
right. And so, going into Tariq, we bring you just mentioned it, but earlier in the episode when he was in the house with Tasha, he texted the boy Brains like, I'm in. And so then we get down towards the end of the episode where he's in the car with the guys and they are setting up this lady to think that he's selling candy door to door, and in come his two goons ambushing the woman.
Well, I didn't know how to feel for him because I'm sure he wasn't expecting them to.
He wasn't.
To put it down like that. I mean, it looked like they were trying to rape her, whatever they were going to do to her. One of them was. And, but, the youth in him, what did he do? He exposed them.
Right.
Yeah.
I really think that he thought it was going to be like a situation with Kanan, where I just, go in and create the opening and let them do what they do and we all leave. And, and that's it. But with him going upstairs and seeing that woman about to be raped, it kind of like, this is not what I signed up for. And so when he said, Brains, tell your man to stop, like, okay, you really messed up calling him by his name.
Calling him by his name.
And so with that woman hearing that, I feel like Tariq is going to feel responsible for her death.
He is.
Because if you had not have said the name, then maybe she would still be alive.
And it's interesting what you think you sign up for. I mean, again, you're in the game. You're doing things that easily could go wrong. I mean, nothing's 100%. You get away with it 4 times, doesn't mean you're going to get away with the 5th time. Doesn't mean that violence isn't going to happen the 5th time.
Right.
So I don't know what he was thinking.
He has no reason to even be in the game because he gets everything he wants. They are rich, and for me, Tariq is like permanently on who can get the hands list. Permanently through the remainder of the season. Every week.
Yeah.
RD said in the comments that Ghost and Tasha should be on the who can get the hands list because he said they're the ones that expose the kids to the light.
Courtney brought that to our attention too because she pretty much said that they were the ones that influenced him or introduced this thing to him. But like father, like son, because he's a quick learner and he seems to have a taste for this thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's something that's just temporary with him. He seems like he's going to pretty much be in this in the long haul.
Yeah.
I think his innocence is gone.
Yeah, it'll really be interesting how he handles the death of the woman because he had to witness that.
Yeah.
And if
this is the second death he done witnessed.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but she being more innocent than
Jukebox was.
So it'll be interesting how he handles or what he does. And we saw a little bit of what he would do because what did he do when he saw his dad? As Courtney said, instead of sitting down and saying, "Hey, Dad, I got something to say, get this off your chest," he lies again.
He lied, and I didn't know if it was because Councilman Tate was there and it wasn't the right time, or
he could have said, "Hey, Dad, I need to discuss something with you when you're free."
Right.
That's what
and that would have given me some comfort in knowing that this isn't something he's trying to take on as a lifelong process. But I don't know.
And, carrying the weight of witnessing 2 murders and then being, partially responsible for one of the murders,
He is, I would say, totally responsible. Had he not knocked on that door, that woman would still be alive.
Right. Had he not called out the guy's name, because I don't think they were going to kill her at first.
No, but anything can go wrong. You sitting there trying to rape her, you don't know what she might do to cause you to do. And even though he said brains, I was thinking, had they not taken off their masks?
Yeah,
that was stupid too.
In the first place.
Because would she really have remembered what he said? Because it was very quick when he shouted the name. And Brains isn't exactly a surname that you would, So she might not have even caught that.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, like, with him holding all of this stuff in and having all of this weight on you of, the murder that you're responsible for, and you can't tell nobody about it. That's just going to make for a worse Tariq. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse.
As we see from episode 7 to episode 8, he actually has now elevated himself because if the death of Jukebox wasn't enough, he now is directly responsible for the death of this woman. And it doesn't seem, at least in the latter part of the show, doesn't seem if it fazed him at all.
Yeah.
Well, and let's not forget that he roughed up Raina.
Well,
because he shoved her down and she still has the bruise.
Yeah, and that was a serious bruise on her.
Yeah, this is his twin.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and with that, I think he's trying to escape it all by suggesting, like, oh, well, it's this school that, I was thinking about going to for basketball, and that's his escape.
Well, following Raina.
Right, following Raina, but I think it's less about him, feeling the guilt of what he did, and more about him running with Brains.
Definitely.
Right,
yeah.
That's what it is.
And here again, it's telling me a lot about, is he actually feeling any remorse for this at all?
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it just, hey, I need to get out of town for a few months and send me out there with, let's do this thing with Raina. And I need to get away for a minute. So.
And that's the thing. If he and Raina go away and this dude Brains catches back up with him.
Well, I think that it would be smart to send him away. I don't think Brains doesn't seem like he has enough brains to catch him, out in Connecticut. I don't think that, who would tell? There's really no one to, as long as he keeps his mouth shut.
Streets are tough.
Well, as long as he, shuts it down and Raina doesn't say anything, of course he would have to say to her, you can't tell your friends, you can't tell your best friend, you can't tell anyone where we're going.
Yeah, but I think Brains is still, that he's going to resurface again.
I think so too.
Well, if he had any brains, he wouldn't have, but anyways.
And so, on to the next scene, Mike is in jail, and then comes somebody dressed as a doctor, slits his neck real quick, and Mike is left to bleed out.
That artery, man, he just...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And so, of course, when Angie and Mock and Sax show up to look at the crime scene, Sax he really side-eyed Angela a little bit because Mock said the only people that knew that he was here are us in this room.
Right.
And so Sax is like really side-eyeing Angela like this heifer.
And they're going to get together at some point and say, did you? Well, did you? And she won't be in the room because I think when it comes down to it, they all are pretty much probably suspecting Angela for this. So they'll probably get together and come up with the conclusion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I already said about Sax listening in and hearing what Sandoval said and all of that. And the way how they lost the signal and everything and how he came into the apartment. Yeah. Sax is already on her.
He knows how to put two and two together.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Angie goes down to Mike's dead body and says, this was for Greg.
Spit on the man's grave. I'm like, that right there sealed it for me. Angie,
Gangster.
you serious gangster. You can't tell me anything about Ghost, and you could have the heart to do something like that.
Well, first off, that goes to show the type of women that Ghost is attracted to.
Well,
because Ghost is attracted to Angela, she can be gangster, and so can Tasha. Tasha can be gangster, and then he was giving the googly eyes to this Jimenez woman, and that woman is treacherous. Well, so you can't be no little pussycat dealing with Ghosts.
But let's look. Angie, those traits that Angie are now showing aren't traits that you could have ever known that she had. In other words, you would not have expected Angela to come out like this. So I can't say that he went after her because of those traits. No. It's just interesting how every woman he likes has this.
They have it in them. Mm-hmm. They have it in them.
That's the thing. I mean, like you said, Ghost has a type.
He does. He likes cutthroat types. Even that little reporter that was talking trash last week.
He likes strong women.
He likes strong women. Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, we'll say that. Because she was like, yeah, your wife don't love you anymore. And I like to study my subjects and see what's on. I was like, she is trying to give Ghost some. That's why she was trying to throw Tasha under the bus.
Yeah.
And so I think he probably respected her gangster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He likes strong women.
He does.
So that's interesting.
You can't be a punk with Ghosts.
Oh no,
at all.
That's an alpha male. He wants an alpha woman, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But he likes some strong women, and he has to be careful though, because Angie's still pretty cool about that whole thing that went down with she and Ghost. So if I were Ghost, I'd stay away from him.
Ghost is a sucker. He gonna be back next week.
She won't let it die.
Episode 9, I'm calling it.
Okay, so with Angie doing everything that she did, basically she knew what Ghost was going to do. When she told Silver, she knew the word was going to get back to Ghost, and she knew that Ghost was going to go and take care of Mike. So with her knowing exactly what kind of person James is, how could there be any reconciliation between the two, especially when she tries to play like she's so squeaky clean?
Well, she comes to the realization that they're both gangsters.
Well, that would take her admitting to what she really is.
I don't know if she cannot admit this now. I mean, you are responsible for Sandoval's death. In fact, you killed her. You just didn't use your own hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But can she ever admit that to herself is the thing.
she's so self-righteous, but she has no cause to be self-righteous anymore.
No, exactly. Whether she admits it in public or what, she did what she did, and she's the cause of his death. So you're just as gangster as Ghost.
Yeah, you're just as dirty.
1 kill or 10, you get the same amount of time.
That's a fact. So what do you guys foresee for next week? You know, I know you've seen the previews. It looks like next week is going to be real hectic.
I don't know. I'm waiting. Next week has got to be Dre's demise for me. Maybe I'm calling it too soon, but I would really like to see Dre get it next week.
Well, I know that there's a lot of leaks out there, and I advise you guys that if you have seen them, to not spill the beans to anybody.
Right.
Keep it to yourself, because we don't want to know.
Right. We have not watched
And the fact that there are leaks out there in the first place, like, shame on whoever did that, first of all, because the cast and crew works too hard on this show for stuff to get out there early and ruin the success of the show.
And you're not getting an Emmy leaking anyway. Just keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, let these people get their ratings.
Right.
But either way, like I said, I don't want to know. So we try to keep our predictions very, fluid, like where it flows naturally and where it's not influenced by anything from the outside.
No, these are our opinions.
And organic.
And we share our opinions just as you have yours, and you will share them on our comment page, which we like. And, right or wrong, they're just that, predictions.
Exactly. Right. And so one of the clips for next week, it showed Tasha and Silver, of course, and we talked about this a little bit, but Tasha is saying, James, he's off the hook for that murder now, and she knows that James is trying to be legit, and so now it sounds like she's plotting on his legit money, because she couldn't plot on the dirty money. She didn't have, her mom told her, you don't have any claim over his drug money. But now it seems like she's telling Silver, like, oh, with the divorce, and she mentioned the legit money, and I'm like, oh, Tasha, girl.
He still has a prenup in place. I'm still wondering how she would get around that, because he has a clause in it. If she divorced him, she gets nothing. Yeah. So I still wonder how she thinks she's going to ride off into the sunset.
Well, she's going to start putting more money away.
If she puts money away, of course.
But that will require her to really put on a good front with James. So I feel like she's going to deceive the heck out of him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's going to play Silver like a well-tuned fiddle.
So, I'm saying she's gonna play both.
She's gonna play Ghost.
She's definitely that's a given. She's gonna get what she wants out of Ghost. So she'll get, she'll start putting money away, and at the same time she's playing Silver. Say, hey, even if she wants Silver, she's gonna play him up to a point. Now, if Silver wakes up, he'll get out of here.
Because he doesn't know what type of woman she is. He doesn't know. Exactly. He doesn't know about the criminal past that she's been complicit. Right. He thinks she's a little woman.
And with all that, it makes, when Ghost finds out the news about her being with Silver, it's going to make it all that more worse. Because she's going to have to make him believe that they are solid.
You said when Ghost finds
out?
Wow, that should be next season.
Man.
Yeah, that's something to build on next season. I don't know if we can close that right.
I hope not, because I want this to get so steamy and juicy, so that when it is exposed, it is like it blows up.
It has a propensity to do very well next season.
Yeah.
So, that's probably that's a door closer for next season. Yeah,
it is. And of course, Dre is still doing his stuff. So I think next week, like you said, I don't know if he's gonna die.
I don't think not yet.
He's in too deep.
No, I'm saying I want to see him.
It's time for him to go.
Yeah.
But I think that he is going to build up his own crew, and I think eventually he's gonna go against the organization, against Tommy.
Yep.
He's gonna be.
So does Kanan come back in the picture next week? You think?
I think so.
If not next week, season finale.
Yeah.
He'll be involved, because I think some, and call me crazy, that some type of way he's gonna be involved with Ghost. He's gonna team up with Ghost.
I can actually see that though.
He's gonna
particularly with the new territory that Ghost is now has, and I think in his heart of hearts he really wants to make amends for what he did with Kanan in the first place. I don't know if that's a good recipe for, or if it's a recipe for disaster, but I think that Ghost does have it in him to want to kind of square it away with Kanan, because you really can't have Kanan out there loose
No.
And think that you're going to be okay.
Right.
Kanan is on your back, and you need to either take care of him permanently or give him what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and so what happens with Angie now? Any predictions on Angie?
Angie's going to the bang. Angie's going to the bang. I think that Sax is going to go to Mock or whatever, and they're going to look at her as well. All the stuff that they couldn't get, because since that information died with Sandoval, they know that Angie was involved with Ghost and everything. They know she's complicit in some type of way. So I think they're going to... She has the next target on her back.
I think she's good for another season. I don't.
I'm not saying she's not going to be killed. I'm not saying she's going to be killed. I'm saying she might go to the bang. Like she might be.
But if she's in jail, it's not much. It's not much to tell. She's in jail.
She'll get out. She'll get out like Ghost did. There'll have to be some redemption on her part. She's going to be fighting to clear her name and start all over maybe in season 5. But I think that she's going to be exposed too. That's my prediction.
Do y'all think that they'll ever figure out the link between Teresi and Tommy?
I think that Tommy, I don't think it's a point of figuring it out. I think Tommy is going to
go to the jail.
Yeah,
I think he's going to go see him.
Yeah, I think I don't think Tommy has a problem telling Ghost at some point, what he's doing with his dad. I don't see that.
Well, Ghost already knows.
Well, I'm saying I don't see Tommy having a problem wanting to bring him in on whatever they're doing, because he's already did him a huge favor. How do you cut him out?
Yeah,
but Ghost doesn't trust him though.
At all.
Well, not, and nor should he. But at the same token, things have got to be a little different with Ghost now because of what has transpired. Ghost didn't know who he was while in jail. Teresi had the upper hand because he knew a little bit more about Ghost than Ghost knew about him. So now, they're pretty much on a more even playing field. So the question becomes, where does this go? Because it can be rather convoluted.
For me, it's just a recipe for disaster. I feel like Teresi he's scheming. He got something up his sleeve because now he has, Ghost is indebted to him for covering up the murder of the guard, and Tommy's indebted to him for murdering Mike, and so it's like it's not for no reason. He didn't just say okay just because you're my son. Like I think it's something else there.
And even if he did, my thing is with Tommy. Tommy sees the value of his dad, and he's gonna play on it. He's,
Okay. Well, I feel like we really got a lot of this out the way. We covered pretty much everything. This episode for me, it wasn't as action-packed. Like, episode 7 was like, whoa. And episode 8, it was kind of like, oh, okay. So 9 and 10 got to be, like, heavy hitters.
Well, with the exception of Sandoval's death. I wasn't expecting him to die this soon. But the fact that he's out of the way does kind of leave credence to something else much bigger is going to happen.
Something is coming. Something is coming.
And that's why I'm thinking Dre. Because that would be a big deal.
That would be a lot of murders this season.
I'm thinking somebody closer to home.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be consequences behind Tariq's actions. The fact that that situation with Brains, that's not over yet.
It doesn't.
There's going to be consequences behind that.
I don't see Tariq going.
They may not be Tariq. Sometimes when there's consequences, it's not always you who suffer the consequences. Other people may suffer because of your actions.
That's true.
And so I'm just saying, I think there are going to be some consequences behind Tariq's actions. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like we covered everything, like I said. Make sure you guys continue to comment. We love reading y'all comments.
We do.
Yes.
It's actually hilarious. We sit up there and respond
and
to you guys.
And some very insightful, too.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys have some very good perspectives that, some things that I didn't even think of. So we love having you guys comment and getting to interact with you. So as always, comment with us on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. If you are a social media person and you like to, enjoy the memes and the funny banter that goes on between people, check us out because we engage as well. So, if you guys have anything you want to mention to us, if you guys want to be featured as a guest on the show, feel free to comment and let us know.
Drop us a line in the comment section. I will get back with you, set up a time, and give your phone number. So it's all good. We're good.
Okay. Well, until next week when we come back to review episode 9, which I'm sure will not disappoint, because it's getting down to the wire. So episode 9 and 10 are gonna be crazy. So prepare yourselves for next week, guys. And until then, we'll see you later. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.